That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? Some of you might remember a couple of months ago, we did a story about that. It looked like DirectTV and Dish TV, the two largest, most recognizable satellite television companies, were going to be merging into one company. And we all felt that makes sense because that's a dying industry and it's not going to last too much longer, but you'll get more life out of it if you combine these companies. Well, according to CNN, that deal's done. DirecTV has canceled the agreements to merge with Dish TV. This comes to us again from CNN, who wrote, U.S. satellite TV provider DirecTV has terminated its agreement to acquire EchoStar's satellite television business, which includes rival Dish TV. The deal would have created one of the largest pay TV distributors in the United States with a combined 20 million subscribers. For the deal to go through, Dish bondholders had to agree to exchange their debt for new debt in the merged entity at a discounted rate, taking a quote-unquote haircut of about $1.57 billion on the debt. As part of the transaction, DirecTV was to pay $1 to buy the pay TV business called Dish DBS, including Dish and Sling TV. Sling TV, by the way, was the first streaming cable package I ever got. I use YouTube TV now, but Sling TV was the first one I ever used, with the assumption of about $9.75 billion in Dish's debt, which is why a lot of people at the time were asking, wait a minute, how can they buy it for $1? Because they're buying it for $1, but also taking on almost $10 billion in debt. Well, apparently this thing's now off. Not going to happen. Now, look, satellite TV in the past couple of decades has played a vital role in home entertainment for a lot of people. On a personal note, when my mom and dad bought the Campea Ranch, which, Ray, you've been there. Right. When my mom and dad bought the Campea Ranch, it was kind of out in the boonies. There was no cable provider out there. And if my mom and dad were going to be able to watch TV, thankfully we had DirecTV. And there were a lot of people in North America and around the world that had similar situations. But the business is kind of an antiquated business now. They were just talking about, like, there are things like Sling TV. There are things like YouTube TV. Like, all you need now is an internet connection. And there's lots of inexpensive ways to get internet now. All you need is an internet connection. You can have that. You don't need a dish anymore. And it seemed like, to me at any rate, that if you're two really struggling businesses, combine your resources, limit your overhead, merge your subscriber base, and you still aren't going to last for a lot longer, but you'll last longer than you will individually. So I don't know. Ultimately, at the end of the day, Chris was the thing that broke up this deal. I think it would have been probably good for both companies. Sure. But it's off. What kind of future do you see for satellite Dish TV? And has you or your family ever used it?
No.
No.
We never have. And every time we report on these two satellite companies, I'm reminded, oh, those still exist. Because I do not think about them on the day-to-day. The big thing here is that this agreement hinged on Dish bondholders accepting this deal and accepting all of that debt, which with all the restructuring and everything, ultimately would have cost them about $1.6 billion.
Right.
That's a hard sell for somebody who's got skin in the game. And so I could understand why this didn't go through. But to your point, yeah, all you need is an internet connection. I moved in and the people next door to me have their dishes up that are now just like bird nests.
Yeah.
They've gone the way of the dodo. They're pretty superfluous and they don't really have
They're
value.
relics of a bygone time.
Exactly. And so I understand them trying to cling on to life here, but I don't see them moving forward. I don't see either of these companies really having much of a future unless they pivot and join up with streaming services and try to kind of have some kind of bargain with them, like a Sling TV kind of thing, but a bit more lucrative. A paid service probably would be helpful.
I mean, there's literally only one reason I have DirecTV.
What's that?
The Los Angeles Dodgers.
Oh yeah, you gotta be.
Is that the only way you can watch?
Well, them and like Spectrum, but AT&T is just better. AT&T owns DirecTV, at least they did at the time. But yeah, because they have a huge deal worth billions of dollars for
that. If you're local in LA, the only way you can watch a Dodger game is if you have it.
So.
See, this here in this area would be out of market, so I could get like MLB TV and watch them.
Oh, okay.
But I'm in market in Los Angeles, so I can get MLB TV and watch everything else but my own team.
That's tricky.
So until they make some changes with that or a new deal, I'm stuck with some cable.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Now, I'm seeing a bunch of people in the live chat wanting me to talk about for a second about Starlink. which is probably a much better thing. Although I have Starlink. So for those of you who don't know, Starlink is an internet service. Like they have like thousands of satellites creating satellite internet. And if you have Starlink, you get a dish. The dish used to be like this big, but now you can get them like this big. They're like the size of a piece of paper now. And you can get internet anywhere in the world. Now, the reason I got Starlink was because Ann and I like going camping. And sometimes where we go, there would be no cell service. Like you could, like a 4G or a 5G hotspot box wouldn't get it. So, but if you have Starlink, you literally have internet wherever you are on the planet. It doesn't matter. As long as you got a view of the sky, you have internet. The problem with Starlink is that it's not, I mean, it qualifies as high-speed internet, and it's certainly fast enough to use for streaming entertainment, but it goes up. You think streaming services go up in price fast? Starlink prices just keep going up like every time I blink. I think when I first signed up for Starlink, it was like under $100. It's now $150 a month for it. Now, depending on your use case scenario, if you're out in the boonies and you want good, solid internet, it's a good option. It's actually a really good option. But yeah, it's getting less and less good because they keep jacking the price on it up and up and up. But again, if you want your entertainment and you're somewhere where you can't get a traditional internet service, I think it's a better deal just to get a Starlink, because then you have your internet and then you can use that internet signal to get whatever entertainment you want. Anyway, guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Life360 Tile Trackers. With the holidays right around the corner, it's all about family, fun, and of course, keeping track of everything while traveling or hosting. For me, that's where Life360's Tile Trackers are an absolute lifesaver. These little things help keep the holiday stress in check. Whether I'm tracking my keys, wallet, or even our luggage when we travel, Tile Trackers make it easy to keep tabs on everything important. Just open the Tile app to ring it when it's nearby, or track down its location on the map if it's a bit farther. I had mentioned this one time I went to a poker tournament in Vegas, and I keep everything, my wallet, my tablet, and stuff like that, in this satchel backpack of mine, and I thought I lost it. I went crazy for hours until I finally realized I had left it in the car. If I had had Tile Tracker, it would have made my life a lot simpler. And here's one of the things I love about Tile. Tile syncs with Life360, so I can see the location of my family members and all of our tiled items in one spot. So make your holidays a little less stressful and family-proof your season with Life360's Tile Trackers. Visit tile.com and use the code Campea to get 15% off. That's tile.com. Use the code Campea. Guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this Dish TV and DirecTV deal now being off? Do any of you guys use it right now? Do you remember your families using it? Maybe your grandpa used it when they came over from the old country. I don't know. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.